Hi everyone, thanks for joining me on Success Made Simple today, where we are talking about the 15 keys to success, and we're under number 14, which is be a life learner and ask questions. Do you know, so many of us have studied like all our life where we think, really, do we have to learn more? And I want to encourage you that there is always more to learn. Or we might have a child or a grandchild that's continually asking us questions. It's like, oh my goodness, stop asking questions. This is going to help you to look at that situation and say, no, this is great. This is going to be a life learner. Well, who's our best example of this? Jesus. Jesus asked a lot of questions. A matter of fact, when he was presented with some difficult things to comment on, he kept asking questions. He would lead with questions to help us to see situations. And that's something that you and I can always learn from, but also apply in our life no matter what level we are at. Have you ever been presented with a question? Maybe it's your children and they come in and they say, hey mom, can I go to Susie's tonight? It's gonna be great. We're just gonna go over there. And they're all excited and they're looking at you and they just want you to say yes, right? But then you start asking some questions. Well, who's all going over to Susie's? Are their parents home? What are you going to do there, right? Before we answer a question, it's really smart in many situations to start asking questions. On a more serious level, one of the things is, let's say someone comes in, we run a business or we're in leadership, and someone comes to us and they accuse someone else of doing something wrong. And sometimes in the haste of that, we might actually make a decision without asking the right questions. Do you know who's a great example of this today? Is the media. Oh, wow. We have really, in our household, had a lot of discussions about reading articles or taking the things that the media is saying and beginning to ask questions. Because so many times, whether it's people, today the media is a great example, they give you just enough information, but if you don't see the whole picture, we are tempted in that situation, or we may be led into making a very poor decision or giving somebody the wrong response. Another part of that is when we're humble and we realize we don't know everything. A lot of times people say, and it's really true, the older I get, the less I know, because when we're younger, we think we know everything, right? But as life goes on, we mature and we have a better understanding. We realize that there's so much to learn. One of the things I really enjoy about my husband, Dave, is he is literally the most curious person I have ever met. If we're going walking and he sees a bug or he sees a plant that he hasn't seen before, he goes right over there. He's really curious. He looks at it and he wants to figure it out. Or if he's got something that is working a certain way, like we just fixed an umbrella that I thought we'd have to, buy a whole new umbrella in our backyard. But his curiosity, his willingness to ask questions saved us $500. He's like, I think we can fix this. So he started researching, he started asking questions, and he was able to put a new string in our huge umbrella, saving us hundreds of dollars. Well, there's a humility in those questions. For example, if we go into a situation and we're trying to help a company or maybe do something in our own company, let's just say, we'll use me as an example. Let's just say it has to do with social media or media, and I have limited knowledge, and a lot of my knowledge might be very old, right? Because I'm not seeing things through the lens of these younger people that are actually on social media and really understand how millennials and Gen Z people think. Well, I could just say, nope, we're going to do it this way because it's how we've always done it. But if I want a good result, I'm asking, well, what do you think? How do you see this? What have you learned? Have you noticed that the younger generation, they're on YouTube learning things all the time? I don't have that curiosity. I think I should have more of that curiosity. But sometimes when we're trying to achieve a goal, if we take a moment and we ask questions and we get other people's input, pull that together. It's okay if I don't know the most on a situation. I might have to make a decision on it. But as I learn from others and become that lifelong learner and learn to ask questions, the result of my life is going to be so much better. So a key to your success is be a lifelong learner and ask questions.